Hi friends, welcome you all for today's session, Recruitment and Selection, your subject code 18 MBA HR 301, Unit 3, Hiring Internally, Session 1. In the previous classes, we have understood what do you mean by recruitment, what are the different types of recruitment. Okay, keeping those bases, let's try to understand the meaning and the definition of hiring internally here. Okay, so before we try to understand hiring internally, we know in recruitment, we have two sources of recruitment, internal, external. So in today's class, we are going to take up internal hiring. Hiring internally. Okay, that's one of the important sources in recruitment. Okay, internal hiring is a process. We can call it as a process of filling vacancies. You're going to fill the vacancies within the business from its existing workers. Very simple. What I mean is, hiring internally, as the name itself specifies, you're hiring internally. You're going to fill the vacancies within business or organizations from its existing workmen or existing workforce. Okay, so that means employees are already working. You have employees working for your organization or they are in your organization. Okay, they may be more suitable. You feel that they are more suitable for the job, for next level of jobs or the higher level of jobs, so than you recruiting from the people from the outside. That's one way of understanding. Internal sources of recruitment mean hiring people from within the organization. Hiring people from within the organization. In other words, to make you understand again, seeking applicants. Okay, we seek the applicants for the job positions from those who are currently employed with the firm. Wonderful, right? See here. In other words, you're seeking applicants for the job positions. You have some vacancies in the organization or some jobs, okay, positions are being vacant in the present organization. So what you do is, the current employees, okay, who are employed within the firm, you're giving an opportunity for them. So that way we can make understanding. Internal sources of recruitment consists of personnel, that is personnel already, the persons already there in the organization, or employees who are already working in the organization. Okay, or we can also say these people, or we call them as employees, okay, or employees who are in the payroll. They're already in the master roles, payrolls of a firm. Example, what I can do is, we can say this is an organization. You have people working here. Okay, people are working here. Okay, you have got some X, Y, Z people are working here. You're already having a manpower here. So vacancies are created now. So you have dash vacancies. So now to fill those vacancies, what I do is I am giving an opportunity for my internal people. It can be X or it can be Y or it can be Z. So that's what I say. Internal recruitment is a source. We can say it's one of the source of recruitment where we are hiring the people internally. We are hiring the people internally, or these people are familiar, okay, or similar or familiar with the organization. They are in the master roles or they are in the payroll. So these people we give an opportunity to get work. We can also say internal hiring, it's a comprehensive program. We can also call it as a program, we can call. Why do we call it a program? Because we are looking for a talent inventory. We are looking what? Talent from the people, skills from the people, okay, analysis. We are doing finally what we do is we are analyzing. So hence we can call it as what? Comprehensive program. What we do is, existing employees, we are hunting them with the talent and we are analyzing. What are we analyzing? We are checking their performance, previous performances, attitude, interest, values, their commitment, involvement, satisfaction, motivation. If all these possibilities are there in our present employees, so this is what I'm doing analysis here. So this we can call it as comprehensive program, where I'm having a talent inventory is already there, little bit of analysis I'm doing, and I'm just giving an opportunity for my internal people here. Okay, that way we can try to understand here. What we can also do is, whenever vacancies are created, okay, whenever vacancies arise in an organization, someone from within the organization is upgraded, transferred, promoted, or even demoted. That way also we can try to understand. So whenever the vacancies are created here, what we do, parallelly along with the working, people are updating, people are upgrading. Okay, here what they do, they update. Okay, one people can get transferred, or one people can get promoted, or one people can get demoted. So all these things we can say it's a form of internal recruitment only. Layoff, retrenched people, okay, whenever the markets are not doing good, okay, we have to lay off the people, we have to retrench. That is excess manpower you have to reduce. So again you can call back those ex-employees. So that is also one of the form of internal recruitment only here. Okay, so what we can say is the process, that is this is more an open approach. Internal recruitment, it's an open approach, okay, where everyone gets an opportunity or the right to apply for the job and bid for the same. Internal recruitment is such a wonderful thing. What we are doing is, it's an open approach. It's an open approach for people working here. Okay, what they do is, everybody has got the same right to apply for a job. Okay, whenever the vacancies are created or whenever it has been announced in the organization, and they bid for the same, they compete for the same. Okay, so what we can understand is, internal recruitment, it's a process of filling job openings by selecting from among the pool of present workforce. So you have the workforce here, okay, we have present workforce, people are working here, we have a good talent pool here. The only thing is, I have to do my analysis. I have to do my comprehensive analysis here. So what I do is, that's what I'm saying, we can call it as a process where I'm trying to fill the vacant position by selecting what? Among, okay, it's among, that is among the organization, whatever the best brains I've got in my organization, the present workforce. And this can be implemented. How are we doing this? So this can be implemented by the following methods. Okay, we have to do this way, we have two methods we have. One, what I do is, I have to review. Okay, straight away I cannot just recruit, right? So what I do is, I review. I have to review first. Then job posting. Then I have to do with job posting. Job posting. Slash, we can also call it as what? Job bidding, we can also call it as. Okay, job bidding we call it as. Now let's try to understand what is this review here. Okay, what I mean is, I have to review the personal records of my workforce. The people who are already employed, who are already working, whom I feel suitable, what I do is, I review their records. I review their skill inventory. So this is going to provide me what? Adequate information for the personal thing. Okay, what I do is, so I've got various people. I told them about 100 people are working for me now, right now. So what I do, I just review. So there are two positions are being created. So to fill these two positions among 100 people, okay, whom shall I select? Whom shall I select? So what I do is, I list out the short list. I shortlist among 100. I can shortlist around 10 or 5. Okay, In this 10 and 5, what I do is I check that, I review their personal records. I mean, it can be their personal informations, or it can be their educational background, or it can be their skill upgradation, or it can be their work experience, knowledge, skill, ability, their interest, their commitment, performance, motivation, satisfaction. So these are the parameters, few parameters where I try to take and I try to do the review here. Okay, next is the job posting or the job bidding. Here, under this job posting or job bidding system, what I do is I try to notify here. Okay, I am reviewing. Okay, this is one step. Here, what I do is I have to announce it, posting. The vacancies are there in my organization. So how do my internal employees come to know? So I have to post the job posting. This we call it as job posting. I am doing it. Okay, where I am doing it? In organization, where in the notice board or the bulletin boards or the company publications, wherever, internal circulations, where and all it is possible there, where people are going to look into, there I am just going to job post the vacancies. Therefore, people are going to come to know vacancies are there. Okay, and this also we can call it as a job bidding here. Okay, next, to understand this again, internal recruitment, whenever I've got labor shortage, assume that manpower less, I don't have that manpower. Okay, labor shortage is there. That's for the short term. Okay, short term in nature. So what I do is instead of me going for additional labor, it's not necessary for the short term. So what I do, I start recruiting internally. I start recruiting what? Internally. So this is called inside moonlighting. What I call? It's inside moonlighting. I am searching the talent. I am searching the talent pool inside the organization. Okay, whenever I got the labor shortage or the manpower shortage, instead of me going for outer recruitment, okay, for the time being, I go with my internal talent pool. Okay, so this we can understand as inside moonlighting. It's also one of the way to understand internal recruitment. So one way we are calling internal recruitment as a process. Yes, it's a process because you have to review, you have to, job posting is there, again job bidding is there. Okay, and we can also call this hiring internal or internal recruitment as a technique. We can also call it as what? Technique, where organization pays bonuses. Organizations are doing what? They're paying the bonuses of various types to the people on time payroll. Okay, so that way also we can try to understand, like overtime procedures, okay, are in many organizations. OT, overtime. Okay, so these develops for time payroll. Okay, so moving to the next, other side, I told our ex-employees, that is, whenever we have excess of labor, we are retrenching the laborers or layoffing. Okay, we do. So what we do is, these retrenched employees, layoffed employees, retired employees, dependents, okay, those who are more dependent on the job of a company, or disabled persons, okay, they also constitute internal sources. Internal sources. Please understand, we are speaking regarding to internal recruitment. So we are understanding, that is, it's a chance where it's given for, recruitment is given for internal people. So we are stimulating the internal people, okay, for the job available. So sources, so parallelly we are going with the sources also here. So what we can say is, retrenched employees, retired employees, dependents employees or diseased employees, they also constitute for internal sources. We can call them, okay, so we can call them as our ex-employees. So what we do is, we have to factor, okay, to find the suitable candidates for a particular position. So you have, that's what I told, vacancies can be 1, 2 or 10. but you have to identify the candidates for the particular position who is most suitable for internally for the positions available. It also includes former employees. That's what I told now. Former employees are retired employees, retained employees, layoff employees. These people, okay, we are making them to return to work, back to work for the organization. So that way also we can understand the definition of internal recruitment. So what we are doing is we are asking them to return back to the work. Okay, and recruitment from internal sources is done to fill up the vacancies. Other ways, okay, you have got the vacancies. So how I'm trying to fill those vacancies is like either it can be promotions, or it can be transfer. Okay, either it can be transfer, okay, or it can be rehiring. We can also say rehiring, okay, so etc. You got various ways. So all these are sources again. To understand the definition, what I mean is recruitment from internal sources is done. Okay, why are we doing this? Recruitment from internal sources is done to fill up the vacancies, okay, available in the organization, either in the form of these forms. Either it can be promotions, transfer, rehiring, okay, or it can be what? Job posting, upgradation, etc. within the company. That way also you can define internal recruitment. On the contrary, external recruiting is how a business looks to fill vacancies from outside. That it doesn't mean that company have to recruit internally only. That's what I said. If they feel they have to go for external recruitment, yes, they can go for external recruitment too. Even that is a part of recruitment. Moving to the next, filling a job, okay, from, that is you have an opening, filling a job opening from within organization. Filling a job opening within the organization has the following advantages. What are the advantages if I start recruiting the people internally or filling the vacancies who are already available, okay, who are already there in the master plan, payroll system, master role? The thing is, it's going to stimulate for possible transfer or the promotions. The one thing is, the advantages, it's going to stimulate. First of all, recruitment itself is a stimulating process or the stimulating activity where a promising candidate or the suitable candidate, he applies for a job. The same way, here what we try to understand is stimulating the present employees who are there in my workforce, okay, so that they'll be for transfer or they will be for promotions. Or also it can stimulate to rehire my ex-employees or the previous applicants. So these are the advantages. Yes, previous applicants also. So applicants what I received long back, maybe I could not fill them, but now I can. So that is also one of the sources, previous applicants. Next, it's going to increase general level of morality. Internal recruitment, it's also going to increase the general level of morality of the people, morality of the employees. Next, having more information. See, one is internally, because we all know unknown devil is better than unknown devil. So all these employees are known person, so they all know more about information about the company. They are very familiar about the company thing, what's happening. So I know these people very clear, and even they know the company's information very clear. So I know their past performance, their satisfaction, their motivation. So this is also one of the advantages. So more information will be knowing about internal people. So You got various advantages. So to make you understand the term, definition and the meaning here, meaning and definition, I'm just explaining the few advantages here. One is it's going to stimulate, it is going to increase, and again more information. So now let's go back, okay? Let's go back from the first regarding to understanding regarding to this meaning and what the definition. Okay, from first I'll just brief out again, okay, so to make you understand better now. Okay, hence friends, in this box we have tried to understand the meaning and definition of hiring internally, internal recruitment. So let's go back again and let's recall, and we'll understand once again what this actually means, internal recruitment. Okay, first of all, let's remember that internal source is one of the important source of recruitment. It's a very important source of recruitment. Okay, just like external source of recruitment. Internal recruiting, what I say is, it's a process of filling vacancies within a business from its existing workforce. I'm already having my workforce, okay, presently they are all working. So what I just do is, I'm just going to fill the vacancies, whatever available in my organization or my business from the existing workforce, people available in my workforce. Other way to understand, the employees already working in the organization may be more suitable for higher jobs than I prefer to recruit outside. As I already told, advantages, because these people will be knowing more information regarding to the company aspect. Even both the parties will be knowing each other very well. So that way also we can understand. So hiring people from within organization, or in other words, seeking applicants for the job positions, okay, seeking applicants for the job position from those who are currently employed with the firm. We are trying to stimulate these people to apply for a job where the vacancies are created, okay, who are already currently employed. That's also one of the advantages, stimulating, it stimulates. Okay, and next, internal source of recruitment, also what I said, it means what? The personnel already existing or employees who are already on the payroll. Okay, so that way also we have understood, who are already there in the master role or the payroll. Then I told internal recruitment is a comprehensive program. Why do we call it a comprehensive program? Because here I am doing talent inventory analysis, looking for the best brains, analyzing who is most suitable for the vacant positions internally. So this way I can call it as what? It's a comprehensive program. Okay, and we can also say it's an open approach. Internal recruitment, it's an open approach where everyone has got a same right to apply for the job and bid for the same. That's what we say, job posting or the job bidding here. Okay, so internal recruitment, we can also say it as a process or a technique where the filling job openings by selecting from among the pool of the present workforce. And this happens by reviewing and job posting, job bidding. So this has also been explained now. So moving to the next one, that is reviewing, is I am going to review their personal records in terms of their academic, their experience, their interest, their commitment, performance, motivation. So this way I try to review. And then posting is what I do is I bring to the notification, okay, within organization regarding to the vacancies available, putting them in the notice boards, circulars, bulletin boards or the company publications, etc. So this way I try to bring to their notices. Or else we can also say that whenever I have got labor shortage, okay, for the short term, instead of me looking from outside, what I do is internally I give a scope and internally give a chance. So this we can understand as inside moonlighting. Okay, so now coming to the next one is, we already told that keeping these sources to understand, that is Even my laid off employees, returned employees, retired employees, dependents employee, deceased employees, they all constitute for internal sources. Not only our former employees or ex-employees, the present employees in the form of promotion, transfer, rehiring, etc. Okay. So that way also we can understand that we are welcoming back the written workforce back to the work again. That way we can understand, or I try to fill up the vacancies through various sources of this kind. Okay. Now moving to the next topic to understand is different types of internal recruitment. So what we try to understand is now different types of internal recruitment. Here to take the very first is present employees. Present employees. That's the very first one. Okay, very first source, what we can call present employees. So present employees, we have already said the meaning and the definition itself. Already existing, already there in the master role, payroll, who are already there in the workforce, known devils, known human capital. Okay, so present employees. So this happens in two forms. One is transfer, other one is promotion. So two ways. One is transfer, other one is promotion, present employees. Okay, so now let's take the very first, transfer. We're taking the very first one, transfer here. See, transfer involves shifting a person from present job to other similar place. Very simple. I am just shifting X person, okay, who's there in my organization to other organization, my similar firm, okay, which is there in different location. X person only. I'm only transferring the person. X is being shifted to what? Similar organization. That is, organizations are similar, but the place is different. Okay, let me say a bank manager now is working for one of the branch, you say Vijayanagar branch. Okay, so now this person has been shift or transfer to KR Mohalla. The person is same, okay, the roles are same, the rank is same, responsibility is same, prestige is same, salary is same. All are same. The only thing is the place has been changed. Okay. Remember, may or may not, sometimes may or may not, the ranks can also get changed, responsibilities, task, prestige and the roles also get changed very rarely. But generally to understand transfer, it's shifting a person from present job to other similar places. These do not involve any change in rank, responsibility and prestige, or even the salary part, what we can say. The purpose of employee transfer, the main purpose of this employee transfer is to enable him to get well versed with a broad based knowledge view of the organization, which is essential for the promotion in future. Very simple. What I do is transfer, it enables this person, X person, whatever he's got his experience, he'll be sharing this experience in other places and he'll be gaining more knowledge, okay, well versed with broad based skills will be getting updated again and again. Okay, and this is more essential for his further promotion. So that way also we can try to understand transfer. The next one, what I try to define this transfer is, transfer involves shifting of person from present job to another similar job, which are already said. Transfer involves shifting of person, okay, from one present job to another similar job. Okay, it does not involve what? Any changes in salary, rank, responsibility or prestige. This way we have tried to understand. Now, according to Yoder, okay, what he says, Yoder defines transfer is one lateral shift. He says it's a lateral shift, okay, causing movement of an individual. That's what we said. It's a lateral shift. It's causing a movement, okay, from one position to another, okay, place wise, okay, without involving any marked changes in the duties, responsibilities, skills or compensation. No changes there. Okay. He is just defining in different form. Yoder is defining, he says that it's a lateral shift, okay, causing a movement of an individual from one position to another, usually without involving marked changes in the duties, responsibilities, skills needed or compensation. Just the person has been shifted to other location. Okay, and this I've already said, I've highlighted, noted, may or may not. Sometimes even these roles, responsibilities can also get changed, irrespective. Okay, transfer helps to maintain cordial relationship. Remember, by doing this transfer, one is going to get the broader knowledge. Okay, he is going to improve the other areas. Okay, wherever he goes, other location, geographical aspect. Okay, and same way, it also improves the cordial relationship between employees. Because, see, monotony, it happens. You being in the same place, knowing the same people, so it's a monotonous. Okay, here what happens is, it improves. You are moving to the different places again. Okay, new environment, new faces, new friends. Okay, so it's a time to understand them, their interest, their attitude. So it's a, again, it establishes you to build good interpersonal relations, we can say, or a cordial relationship. Okay, and this again differs from the different task, conversant with a different task here. Next, we can say transfer also refers to what? Refers to change place from one position to another. Only place gets changed. Transfer. Person is the same, the roles are same, ranks are same, compensation is same, skills are same. Only the place has been changed. Okay, I'm again making you understand what you mean by transfer. So we said it's a lateral movement. We can also say transfer is change in a job assignment. Job assignment, that is change in the job assignment. It can be in the form of place, sometimes also with respect to roles and responsibilities. So already Yoder has said it's a movement. Okay, so what we can say, transfer, it's a movement of an employee between equivalent positions at periodical intervals is called transfer. Again, we can understand this very beautiful it is. Periodical time, periodical intervals. What I'm doing, it's been transferred. There is a movement of a person from one place to another with few intervals time. Okay, either it can be like yearly base, okay, quarterly, half yearly, but these are very rare, okay, but it happens year wise. Okay, that way also we can understand. Transfers are normally made to place employees in positions where they are likely to be more effective. Okay, see what happens is, whenever we want to transfer a person, remember, first of all, we say it is going to get us good interpersonal relation. It also going to what establishes the boredom. He is going to get broader knowledge sake and all. That is true, very fine. But if the person itself is not interested for the transfer, and if I am just making him to move to the next place, okay, then that doesn't be more effective, because later part this is going to affect his job satisfaction. Once he is not job satisfied, he is going to literally what? The productivity of the company also comes down. So remember that transfers are normally made to place employees in positions where they are likely to be more effective. That means their effectiveness is studied in what areas, in what interests, then only they are being placed so that they get high level of job satisfaction, or else it will be utter waste. Transfer is often important in providing employees with a broad-based view of the organization. That's what I already told. So by moving from one place to place, you're going to be more matured enough. Okay, broad-based view is developed. So we can also call it as a lateral movement. We can also call it as what? It's a lateral movement of employees. Okay. Again, to understand transfer, it involves shifting. I'm just shifting an employee from one place to another. Whom I'm shifting? Existing employees who are already working in my workforce. Okay? These employees, existing employees, I'm transferring. Okay? To understand this definition. Okay. Either it can be one job to another. From one job to another I can transfer. One shift to another shift I can transfer. Or from one department to another department. So this way also we can try to understand the definition of transfer. Transfer involves shifting an existing employee. Okay, I am shifting an existing employee from one job to another, one shift to another, or from one department to another. I've already told it may or may not change the responsibilities, duties, status, prestige, or your compensation, so-called salary, whatever it is. So we can call it as a lateral movement or horizontal movement of employees. It can be used, transfer can also be used as a training tool. We can also consider transfer as a training tool, because people for different jobs within an organization, you're going to update, because whenever we go to the next place, whenever we go to the next geographical location, environment is not the same, people are not the same. So again, you have to train yourself. Again, you have to update yourself. So we can say it's a training tool to train people for different jobs. Okay, either you are working as some sales manager here. Now you've been transferred, okay, a little bit in the same range to the next place with different what? Roles. So that can also be considered as transfer. Transfer helps to avoid termination or removal of employees. Remember that. Already I said boredom. Instead of people quitting the job because of routine, people, same environment, okay, let me go with some different competitors environment. So when I do this kind of transfer, okay, for different location, so I can avoid the termination, or even I can avoid the removal of employees. Also, overstaffed. If my present organization is having overstaff, so instead of me removing them, okay, layoffing them or retrenching them, what I can do is I can transfer few of the excess employee. That is, again, whom I am transferring is, again, they should be more suitable for the position available in the next place there or next location there. So overstaffs can be deputed or departed by transferring. That way also we can try to understand the transfer. For example, I got a sales manager, okay. Now he is looking into the north zone, okay. Let me say North Karnataka. So what I do is, now I transfer him to the South Karnataka. One definition, example. Now advantages. Now let's come to the advantages of transfer. As I've already told, all our sources, internal sources or external sources, you have both advantages, disadvantages. Okay. So here in one of the sources of our internal recruitment, what we have taken, we're discussing the transfer part here. So we have few advantages. Again, we have got few disadvantages here. Okay. Now taking up the advantages of this transfer, a transfer provides the employees the opportunity. A transfer always provides an employee a better opportunity to gain wider and broader experience. That's already been discussed very fast to make you understand the definition of transfer. So remember, the very first advantages, transfer provides the employees the opportunity to gain wider and broader experience within the organization. Second, it enhances the knowledge and the skills by performing different tasks or the different jobs. Not only with respect to the different locations, sometimes it also going to what? Different tasks and the positions and the jobs also comes into picture. Therefore, it's going to enhance the knowledge and the skill, okay, in performing the different tasks. So to perform that, naturally he needs new skills and provided with different responsibilities. Next, third one. It helps the employees to overcome the boredom. Monotonous place, monotonous people looking at, so it avoids the boredom and dissatisfaction, okay, with their current job. So current job, since 20 years, same environment, same people. So what? So instead of making the person not to be bored, what I do is, and not to be dissatisfied, and transferring. So even that is one advantage. So I am giving him new location with new different jobs, with changed responsibilities and tasks. So this is really going to motivate a person. Now coming to the disadvantages, don't think that transfer is not having any limitations. Transfer do have limitations. So what are the limitations? When employee is transferred to a new job or a new place, he has to learn a whole new job. He has to learn. Remember, if the person, that's what I told, new place, new jobs, again I have to study the environment, I have to study the human behavior, organization behavior, commitment, interest, everything. So when an employee is transferred to a new job, he has to learn as a whole the new job. That's the one thing, again, disadvantage. Transfer of an employee requires learning. It requires a learning and adjustment on the part of the employees. Because, already stated, new place, new people, so coordination, interpersonal. So it requires what? A learning and adjustment. The organization may also incur expense. We say transfer is a training tool. He will acquire new skills for the new jobs provided. But there comes what? Your training cost. So that's also a point to be considered. So it's going to incur expense for training to the staff, the employees for the new job. Okay, it's going to incur as what? Cost for the training for those staff whom we are planning to transfer or assign with a new job. If transferred employees don't like, even this is also one of the disadvantage. If the transferred employee don't like the job, what happens? Naturally, he gets angry with his work, present work, and also with the co-workers, and this will really adversely affect the environment, and naturally he is dissatisfied, and this is going to reflect on the productivity of the organization. Productivity of the organization. So that is also one of the disadvantages. If the person is accepting the transfer wholeheartedly, then that will be more effective and he is more motivated with more job satisfaction. Okay, thinking with a broader view. If he is not thinking that, if he is not liking, then naturally it is going to adversely affect on the co-workers as well as on the outcome of the company. Normally what do we say is, these are the few disadvantages. Normally an organization can fill up its vacancies, okay, normally either transfer or promotion, because these two people are already available in the company, in the organization, through the selection of people from, or not internally, you can also do externally. Okay, that we'll discuss in the later part. So now coming to this, that is the present employees. So we have tried to understand the very first sources, transfer. Hope you have understood in this today's session what do you mean by, what is the definition, the meaning of the transfer, what advantages and disadvantages of transfer. So next is promotion. Promotion, we are taking with the next sources from the present employee, promotion. Promotions are most common form of, again, internal recruitment. They are also one of the most common form, what we can say, wherein the employees are moved from one level to other level, usually from lower level to next level. We can say that from one level to next level, that is upper levels, okay, of their organization with more responsibilities and prestige. You can see the two differences here. Here a person is same, but the locations are different. Okay, whereas here in this, it's one of the thing where the person is the same, but here he is moving to the next, instead of moving to the next places. Okay, even the promotion can be also to the next places too, but here he is moving with more responsibilities and more prestige along with the status and the compensation. What we can try to understand here. So to make you understand, promotion are the most common form of internal recruitment, wherein the employees are moved to the upper levels, we can say, of the organization with more responsibility and prestige. Promotion refers to, again to make you understand, promotion refers to shifting of person to positions carrying better prestige, higher responsibilities, more salaries. You're going to shift the person, okay, to positions. Shifting of person to positions here. Whereas shifting of person to locations here, shifting of person to positions carrying better or more responsibilities, duties, prestige, salaries. So we said, we can say it's an upward movement. It's an upward movement. It's here lateral movement, horizontal movement, transfer. Whereas the promotion, we say it's an upward movement of employees from current job position to a hierarchy higher job position with increased pay and responsibility. What I said is, so promotion is an upward movement of employees from current job position to a hierarchical higher job position with increased pay and responsibilities. Promotion is a recognition and reward for the knowledge, efficiency and talent. We can also say promotion is a kind of recognition, reward for the knowledge, efficiency and talent. That way also we can try to understand the definition of what is promotion. Either you can understand it's an where it's an upward movement with more responsibility, okay, a better prestige, a better compensation, as well as you can also understand it's a form of a reward and recognition for your knowledge, for your efficiency and for your talent. Okay. Here, when the higher level position falls vacant, when higher level, that is usually you know, right? Like we have operation, middle and the top level. Okay. So here what happens in the higher level where the positions are vacant, okay, companies recruit from within the organization. Companies are recruiting again within, that is why this is also falling in where internal recruitment, okay, within the organization, so as to capitalize one of the following benefits. What is that? Because by recruiting internally again for the next higher positions, why they are doing this is, again, these people are known people, these people are very familiar people, and we know their working, that is working attitude, work commitment, their satisfaction, their motivation with respect to the workforce or the organization. So this is one of the benefit or what the organization capitalize, what we can see. Okay, promotion avenues, again, what is this promotion does is, it is going to like avenues the motivation of employees. It really motivates the employees. Okay, when naturally employees are motivated, naturally the performance is also increased. We can expect more performance. Yes, yes. So next is, again, it's one of the less cost is incurred. Why? Because I am recruiting internally. Here again it requires for the top position, okay, instead of me sourcing outside, I am just searching the best talent pool internally, where this is not more expensive to the company because already they are trained, already they are expertise, okay, well versed in the knowledge, skill, ability. So less cost is incurred as compared to hiring the person from the external sources. That's one of the advantage we can say. The chance of selection, okay, the chances of selection are bright since the performance card, since the performance card of the individual is readily available with the firm. When it comes to the selection of this vacancies, whatever available in the company, the chances is more. Why? Because we already know the person, okay, X person or Y person, or whether it is gender wise, whether it is a male or a female, we know that performance card is known, okay, they are readily available in the organization. It boosts the morale of the employees. One side it motivates the employees, and again it boosts the morale of the employees. It's going to increase the performance of the employees. The others in the organization, okay, not only with respect to XY person, others also can get motivated to work harder and to get promoted to the higher levels of the organization. So this is one of the advantages again in the promotion. It involves filling higher positions. Promotion, it tries to fill the higher positions by promoting employees from lower jobs. That's what I said now, from lower jobs to the next upper levels, or it is also called upward movement. That way also we can try to understand the promotions. So we are going to try to fill the vacancies or the positions by promoting employees from the lower rank. Okay, when I'm just promoting with the lower rank, naturally what happens, already said, it changes with the responsibilities, duties, status, salaries of promoted employees. So it is vertical movement of employees. We can say it's a vertical movement. Okay, it motivates employees and provides job satisfaction. That way also we can try to understand. So it's a vertical movement and it provides job satisfaction. Example, what I can say is for this promotion, example I'm just giving, I just want to appoint a head of the department. All department members may be invited to apply for the positions. Okay, this way we can say one of the example. So now let us try to evaluate, we try to evaluate internally the source for filling the vacancies in the organization. Promotion promotes employee satisfaction. Okay, improves the morale of the employees. It also encourages them to perform better. And it's also an opportunity. Promotion is also an opportunity. It motivates them to acquire new skill, knowledge, education. Got it? Okay, we can also call this as an opportunity where an employee tries to motivate himself and also he tries to acquire more skill, knowledge and education. Promotion is preferred source of recruitment. It's one of the preferred source of recruitment, internal recruitment, so as a vacant post can be filled by the existing employees. And it also motivates employees and it also improves their performance. Next is promotion may on what basis are we doing this promotion? The next question arises. So here, when it comes to this question, may, that is promotion may be on the basis of merit or the seniority basis. It can be based on the merit base or on the seniority basis. Here where we are going to say, when I say merit base, it's individual employee skill, knowledge, ability, efficiency, achievement and his aptitude, attitude, all this thing comes into picture. Where I'm just all these things we are measuring through his education, training and his past employment records and his past performance this way. The same way we can also take it as the seniority understanding. Okay, seniority understanding is it's a tenure of service in the same job in the same organization. So here you have got two. On what basis our employees have been promoted? One is the merit base versus seniority. When I say merit base, it clearly states it's based on the individual merit, that is its individual skills, knowledge, ability, efficiency, achievement and his aptitude, attitude, interest. All these are measured in terms of his education, the training or the past employment records and his performance. It's all merit based. Whereas when I speak about the seniority base, what this says is seniority speaks about the tenure of service. That is what time period of service you are doing with the same job in the same organization. Say for example, 15 years of service, 20 years of service. So he's been or he or she been promoted. Okay, got it? Yes. So in the next session, we'll go more beyond understanding of this, the basis of promotion. So in this session, we are going to conclude the session by making understanding of the definition and the meaning of internal recruitment. Then we try to understand the types of internal recruitment, where in this session we have tried to understand one source of recruitment, that is the present employees. Okay, under present employees you have two, that is the transfer and the promotion. So see you soon in the next session. Thank you very much.